Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So this is one of the few speaking videos you will see on my channel, but I have had this idea in my mind for a long time that I wanted to create a podcast and do simple talking videos where my face is not a super important aspect of it. And I was going over a lot of topics and I've written down a lot of topics, but I realized you kind of have to have a preparation in mind when you're going with that, notes. Just thinking of things right on the spot can be very difficult once you get past the first idea. But I was sitting here and yesterday I found this document from 2015 on my Google Docs. And it was a 7th grade poetry project. So today we're going to be reading those poems and cringing. 15-year-old Ming was not even 15 years old, probably 13 years old now that I think about it. So that is basically what we're going to be doing, and I'm just gonna pull it up now. So the first one, I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but it is written about ketchup. And the idea behind this poem was that you have to write about a food item, but it has to be a scary poem about a food item. So maybe a fear food, or I don't know, something you're allergic to. I guess death is pretty scary. But I guess just kick it off. A ketchup nightmare. Ketchup does not sleep well. He wakes from a nightmare to find himself cold, shivering from the chilly fridge air. It blows viciously on the outside, seeps into the inside. As he lay awake on the shelf, he daydreams about the days when he was a tomato, ripe in the warm sun. The cool drink water was nice, and he had lots of garden friends. That's so nice. Tomato was kidnapped, though. Then he was chopped, smashed, concentrated with cruel metal machines. Now all he sees is the back of a sticker with his future form. Ketchup wonders what happened to his old best friend Cucumber. Now that he thinks of it, his new friend Pickle looks a lot like him. Oh no. And here you can see my lovely images that I decided to include in that. You know, actually not so bad. For the topic that I was giving, pretty kosher. This second poem is called While I Wasn't Watching, and I believe we had to write a poem with that basically being the first line of each of the verses. So I guess this will be a more dopey one. While I wasn't watching, time became a snail, slow paced. While I wasn't watching, music became a grain of sand blowing in the wind. While I wasn't watching, I became a house in need of repairs but still standing. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good line. While I wasn't watching, you became the wind, silent, always moving on. I love how, I've mentioned wind in this poem about 3 times already. While I wasn't watching, fear became imagination, make-believe, non-existent. While I wasn't watching, night became day, bright and cheerful. While I wasn't watching, friends became a dog, either your best friend or your worst nightmare. Oh, damn, man, you're cringy. What kind of friends did I have in 7th grade? To the point where they would be my worst nightmare. It's like, honey, your life has barely started at 13, let alone even 18. And the last line, while I wasn't watching, this story became my life, never ending. Well, it's gonna end eventually, so. This next one, has a nice little dog on it. That was a good choice, I'd say. And this is, actually I do remember this one too. This one was, you have to write a recipe for something that's not a food item. And in this case, I used a book. So the title of the poem is Recipe for a Great Book. To get started on your dish, you will need a main character, also called a protagonist. This character should be likable or relatable to the people. Now, throw in an antagonist or problem, then some subplot characters, and you have the basics. No, you are not done. Stir in semi-chunky. Oh, stir until semi-chunky. Now add 2 cups of action, 1 cup of surprise, a dash of comedy, 1.5 cups of romance, and for extra flavor, a tablespoon of horror, a few pinches of that heartwarming material. You're just about done. Boil a cover, season it with a dash of salt, add some pages, then bake for 10 minutes, and you have a whole, I love how I wrote, hola, that's not a word. You have a hola amazing treat. And then this next slide was really good. Like, there's like a baby, and the baby's reading a book. Very, very nice, very nice. Okay, this next one, unfortunately, I wrote about some friends that I had in 7th grade. So these names were of people that I used to hang out with, but do not know their whereabouts now, obviously. So the idea behind this is that you say, fortunately, I have $10. Unfortunately, I have to pay $5 towards a bill, and you just keep that going on and on and on, basically. So, fortunately, we are going to Caitlin's house, and Caitlin was the girl. Unfortunately, Miles hit my car, so the police had to come. Fortunately, the cops offered me a ride. Unfortunately, the car was out of gas. Oh no. Fortunately, there was a gas station right down the road. Unfortunately, the gas station was being robbed. Alright. Fortunately, they caught the robber, which conveniently was Miles. Unfortunately, the police had to take Miles in, so I was left alone. Fortunately, when I walked to the gas station, I saw Caitlin. So I ran and I hugged her. Unfortunately, it was really a little old lady with a purse, and she does not seem happy. Oh my gosh. And as I get to this next one, which is quite possibly the best poem in this whole thing, I actually read this one through because it was only 5 lines. And it's a poem about Katy Perry. I don't know why I wrote a poem about Katy Perry. I think one of the poems had to rhyme, and her last name was just so rhymable. Anyways, there once was a girl named Katy Perry. People thought her hair was a little scary. She married a guy named Russell Brand. He divorced her, though, because he could not stand her hair in the color of cherry. That's it. That's just really short, sweet to the point. And the picture I used, it's blown up. So now it just looks like pixelated. The next poem, this one was just song lyrics, so I guess there's no point in reading it, but the song that I chose for my song lyrics was Can't Buy Me Love by the Beatles, and then we would pick the verse that we found was the most interesting or relatable or poem worthy, you could say. This next one, I must have been going through some stuff, because I really be talking about, I don't know, really life things that a 7th grader probably wasn't even dealing with. And this one is called They Tell Me to Be. They tell me to be a pencil, there, but able to fix my mistakes. I tell them I'm a pen, permanent, not covering up my past. They tell me to be a kite, flying but still controlled. The grammar, guys, it's a little out there. I tell them I'm a balloon, free, not tied down to anything. Not tied down to anything. I don't need no man. Yeah, another short one. This next one is about something we have to wear. So we would have to talk about a clothing item of some sort. And for some reason, I think I talked about shoes. So the title is obviously I wear. And I wear my shoes like people, all special in their own way. I wear my laces like friendship, not easily undone. Well, that's a good one. That's a good line. I wear my soles like a parent, always there, and if not unable to keep going. Fact of the matter is, when you get to a certain age, you are. Besides the point, you're able to keep going. Zip, strap, click, stomp, squish, all working together. I don't know why your shoe would be squishing, but pop off mean. I love this stock image of like a pair of boots I decided to use that looks like it's straight out of Payless. If you know, Payless is out of business now though. So this next poem, second to last poem, is called Instruments, and for some reason I chose like this background that makes it extremely hard to read because the font does not show up very well. Violins are sweet and add a hint of romance. EDAG play. Thrombones are bass made. Their slides help make different sounds, parading through town. Guitars make echo sounds, acoustic or electric. You strum with a pick. Flutes are soft and sweet. They are made from metal or wood. Their sound flows with a light breeze. Drums are loud and sharp. They are made for rebels to use. Okay, band class. Beating their own drumsticks. Small ukuleles, they give a Hawaiian vibe. Little every way. Pianos, black, white. Performed by special fingers. Special fingers. That's something. Each tells a story. Ringing xylophones have every rainbow color. Start long, down to short. Woodwind clarinets. You have seen Squidward play that. I love how, like, in the midst of this poem, I decided to bring up a character from SpongeBob. Oh my gosh. Blow upon the reed. Last is the microphone, projecting a singing voice, a famous pop star. Guys, I'm pretty sure this is the worst one. And it was supposed to be a haiku, and you could pick anything you wanted, but it just doesn't mix together, like, it just doesn't mix together at all. It's probably the worst one. Like, it's not even funny or, like, rhymes. It's kind of unbearable to read. The last poem, oh my gosh. This last poem I wrote about my brother. His name is Caleb, and so this is all in relevancy to him. There is this little boy I know. His hatred for me he loves to show. He really believes he's Batman and likes to say he'd be the fastest if he ran. He's in kindergarten, like after preschool, so he's very short, he needs a stool. He's absolutely in love with a girl named Eva. This was his crush in kindergarten, and he would come home and talk about her and want to make her candies. My brother's always been like a little playa. I remember when I had a best friend in like 4th grade, he got this ring out of a little, you put the quarter in, you twist it, and a fake ring comes out. Probably will turn your finger green. And she gets out the car, and he's like, will you marry me? He gets down on one knee. I'm like, so surprised this, 5-year-old kid he was bold. He was bold, to say the least. He's absolutely in love with a girl named Eva, and his brother and him are two major divas. He's extremely selfish at most times, and this kid will steal your money down to your last dime. He likes to say he has chocolate eyes, and yeah, that his mouth never tells lies. His favorite colors are black and blue, and every day he has to get a Batman toy that's new. He likes to call me names every single day. What they are, I shall not say. I swear he's a pest, nags everyone to death. All day, every day. I'm out of breath. Sometimes I hate him, how could that be? He's the brother I love, and always will be. That's really sweet, actually. I would say that would definitely be the most sappy one, and then the worst one is the instruments. As far as overall favorite, I'd definitely probably say the last one. Ketchup Nightmare. You gotta hand it to them. Well, it wasn't so bad though. Anyways, guys, that's probably gonna be it for this. This is gonna be a relatively short video. hopefully in the future these will be around 30 to 45 minutes. This is kind of just to test the waters in a way, get something out there so I can look at it and be like, okay, I want to improve upon this, and how can I do that? And I've thought about getting a microphone, but unfortunately I would have to film on my computer, and the quality on a webcam is obviously not as good as filming on a camera or your phone. So all in due time. Maybe with a webcam, that'll fix things. But I think that's gonna be it, and I hope to see you guys next week, or maybe in a couple days if I can collect myself enough. And hopefully this will only be up from here. If you want to leave suggestions below, you can, and then I will talk about it in this nonchalant way. Okay. Anyways, bye.